it's great. Marriage is great. It's great. I've devolved. My brain has devolved. I somehow know less about women now than I did when I was like 7 years old. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea what's going on ever. This is a real thing that happened. Me and my wife got a hotel for a friend's wedding. The next day we had a checkout of 11:30. So my wife goes into the shower, 9 a.m. Comes out of the shower, 9:15. I'm done in there. You can shower now. I said, great. I'm walking to the shower. She says, I left my soaps and my shampoos in the corner of the tub if you want to use them. And I say, thanks. That was very nice of you, but I already brought my own stuff, so I don't need that stuff. She goes, okay, well then just don't get my stuff wet. Or, I can wait a sec. You just want to grab it, get it out of there. I mean, you're packing a bag. We're leaving soon, so. No, it's in there if you want to use it. Okay, but you remember 5 seconds ago when I said I didn't want to use it, right? She's like, okay, well then just don't get it wet. What the fuck's happening? If you just want to, you're packing a bag. This stuff has got to eventually go in that bag. Don't you want to just put it in there now? She's like, I don't know what the problem is. If you don't want to use that stuff, just don't get it wet. She's like yelling at me now. I'm like, what? It's in a bathtub in the corner. Like, my wife doesn't think I'm a loser. Like, I don't jump in the shower like, water! I'm not a crazy person. But also, it's an unfamiliar shower head. I have a very jiggly body. I don't know where that water's going to go when it hits me. Also, how am I supposed to keep anything fucking dry in a bathtub?
When was the last time we talked, man?
It's a year. It's just over a year.
Since the last time I did this podcast?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Just over a year. So I was just probably starting to get back out on the road.
Yeah.
Last year. And that was, it was interesting. I feel like I was, very bold, I was like, oh yeah, I'm vaccinated, everything's cool. And I was only going to places where I sort of knew what I was getting into. And
yeah,
I did and I was fine. I did a bunch of shows with Dan Cummins. I didn't get sick and I didn't get COVID, but I got food poisoning really bad in Kansas City. And at first I was like, oh my God, I got COVID. And then I was like, no, nothing about COVID is like you're peeing out of your butt and you're throwing up and you can't stand and you're cramped in the gut. And like, it was awful. And I was like, I told Dan, I'm like, I don't know. I went with him. He went to some rib joint and I went and I just got a plate of fries. And I was like, that place was pretty dirty. And he goes, yeah, all it takes is one poo finger to touch your fries. And then, and I was like, I go, oh man. But then like later on, I was talking to, I think I was Andrew Santino. And I was like, he goes, oh, you got food poisoning? I was like, yeah. And I go, I don't know what, man. I had the salmon at the club 2 nights in a row. And he was like, what? You ate comedy club salmon? And I'm like, it was good the first night. Like there was literally no issues. So I was like, oh, I'll have that again. Had it again, no issues. Went out after the second night and had like 2 beers or 3 beers. And I hadn't had any beers in a really long time. And I woke up the next morning like, man, wow, those 3 beers really kind of like, I don't feel well, like that was really, I'll go down and get the breakfast. And I came back up, I had like a bite of muffin and like a sip of water. And then I threw up and I was like, well, that's not right. 3 beers doesn't make me throw up a bite of muffin. Like that's too weird.
Man.
And then like slowly I was like, well, I got to stay hydrated. Once you throw up, you get dehydrated. So I started drinking water and then I started throwing the water up and I'm like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
So I was like on the toilet, didn't even know if I could make the shows. Was like, I called him, I called Dan. I was like, dude, I think I'm dying. Like this is bad.
Oh no.
And he goes, dude, don't even sweat it. And Dan's fans, like, you tell Dan's, if there was a crowd there to see Dan and they were like, hey, by the way, no feature tonight. Dan's doing an hour and a half. They would go ballistic. They would not give a shit if I didn't show up. You know what I mean? And he goes, and don't worry, the club will still pay you. You don't have to do the show if you can't do the show. Everyone was being very cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, I flew here. I'm not missing a show.
Yeah.
And the only other person that I'd ever talked to who had gotten food poisoning and had to cancel once they flew into a city was Ryan Stout. He's got a story about basically just being on the toilet for the Thursday night show and having to cancel because he's like,
Ugh.
I'm going to shit my pants. So I rallied and got,
And for him, it's a nice suit.
dude, he's messing up nice clothes, right? I was just wearing jeans. And but I took a shower and I got
You could have shit
dressed.
your pants and just.
Nobody would have even known except for the smell, which wouldn't even smell. It would have been water running down my leg at that point. There was like nothing left in my body. And I got to the club and the lady was like, "Are you sure?" And I go, "Yeah." And they went and got me like KO pectates. And I'm like trying to eat KO pectates, but I'm like throwing them up. And then and Dan is like,
gross.
"Are you really going to go on?" And I go, and I worked it out with the sound guy. I go, "Hey man, there's a possibility that I'm going to get 15 minutes into my 25 minutes and I'm going to have to take a shit or throw up and I'm going to have to run off the stage. If that happens, just know that Dan is going to come up right away with no introduction and just continue the show." And the sound guy goes, "What I'm hearing is the show will be much better if you have to shit your pants halfway through your set." And I'm like, I'm praying that doesn't happen. And it was like, I don't know if it was a muscle memory or just the idea that I felt like the stage was like, once I made it to the stage, I would be fine. But that first set, because we had 2 shows that night, that first set, I was like, halfway through, I was like, guys, I was sicker than I've ever been like 15 minutes ago. And I came up here and you made me feel like $1 million. Like comedy cures food poisoning. And I felt really good. And then as soon as I brought Dan up, I got off stage and I sat down in the green room and I was like, "Ooh, you know what?" And then I just started throwing up again. And I was like, "Oh, it's all the KO pectates that I had." And like, which were two little tiny. And then I was drinking electrolytes, whatever. I got on a plane the next day and I ended up being okay, but it was rough, man. Like I had never had any kind of food poisoning. I thought this is going to sound ignorant, but before that happened to me, I literally thought food poisoning was something only weak people got. Like whenever someone tells me they got food poisoning, I'm like, food poisoning? Look at this guy. Like, what are you talking about, you weak ass stomach? Come on, man. Like I just thought it was like a thing in your head. I thought it was people go, "Oh, I don't feel," like, shut up, And I was like, after that, I was like, no, that was bad. That was real
legit.
bad. I mean, that was pain. I mean, it was gnarly, but recovered from that. That must have been right before. Yeah, it was right before Halloween because I came back and then had to rest up and then did like 3 Dead and Company shows at the Hollywood Bowl and then
Nice.
Went to San Diego with a buddy to see some shows and whatever. But and then since then, been on the road with Dan. Did a week in June of this year on my own in between some weekends, and kind of booked my own thing. I was like tired of waiting for. I think the idea when I first started doing featuring for someone like Dan was like, you want to get to the clubs that you're not booked at already and meet those owners and have those owners like you and have them think your comedy's good and then bring you back to headline. That was like how I thought it was going to work early on, probably even before I started working with Dan. And I realized quickly that doesn't, you can't feature somewhere and then call and go, "Hey, when can I come back and headline?" They're like, "You can't.
Right.
We still have all these other people we got to headline." Like that happened to me one time and I thought that was the norm.
Right.
So it's just, I'm getting tired of just trying to contact these people and trying to get headline spots. So I had a weekend with Dan in Chicago and Iowa, and then I had a weekend on my own in Peoria, Illinois. So I slammed as many shows as I could in that week. One-nighters in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. And they all were, that was some of the most fun I've ever had doing comedy.
Oh, that's dope.
It was, I did a show at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago, which I am from Illinois, but I'm not like a Chicago comic. You know what I mean? I started doing comedy in Los Angeles. I just happen to be from the burbs of Chicago.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I have a lot in common with the comedians that came out of there. I just didn't know I could have driven downtown and done comedy. I just did not comprehend that was something I could do.
Yeah.
So I had never been to the Lincoln Lodge, which was it's kind of a staple in that scene. Mick Betancourt. Oh, you got it. Everything cool?
Yeah, go for it.
I was in North Carolina with Dan and hung out with Mick Betancourt, who lives there now, and he is good friends with Mike Geary, Geary. I got to get his name right. The guy who runs Lincoln Lodge.
Okay.
So he put in a good word for me, and then I put together a show there. But I was nervous, like it was only a 40-seat room, and I was like, "It's my home city. If I can't sell out 40 seats, I'm going to be really embarrassed." Like you know what I mean? Like I had done the weekend before the days leading up to that show, I did a show in the Wisconsin Dells for about 30 people, real small show. The next night drove to Iowa to work with Dan Cummins, where he did a sold out ballroom at a casino in Davenport, 1,100 people.
Wow.
It was crazy. When I brought him back up for like an encore at the end, I came off stage, the crowd went bananas. I came off stage and the sound guy was like, "Dude, we have legitimate bands here every week. Every week." Like Dan was sandwiched between 38 Special and Boys to Men. Do you know what I mean? It was like a weird, he was like, "What am I doing here?" And then when we saw how many people were there, I go, "This is what you're doing here, man. These people want to see you." He goes, "I've never heard an encore applause break like that for any band that we've ever had here." And I was like, "Dude, it's crazy." But then I went from that. Then we went to Chicago. He sold out Talia Hall, like 650 seats or something.
Yeah.
And then the next night I had my own show at the Lincoln Lodge. And I was like, "Oh no. Like this is going to be awful." And it was, I keep listening to that set because it was probably the most fun I've ever had on stage. Like it was a bunch of people a lot of people I knew for sure. It was mostly people I knew, but people that I hadn't seen in a long time and people that I really liked.
Yeah.
And the material just landed. You know what I mean? All the shows leading up to that show had sort of honed it so that I wasn't confused at where I wanted to go. And I was like, I just kind of nailed everything I had and really, really enjoyed it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If I could, I would release that as the album, but that's the material that I'm doing. Going to record a new album at the end of the year in Minnesota, and I'm also going to record kind of, I guess it's like redos and do-overs and rewrites and like kind of older bits and other stuff that's already been out that I'm going to repurpose for making an album that is basically a PG-13 album straight across the board where it can get more radio play.
Yeah.
The problem I have now is that I'm just explicit enough where I get sent to kind of the raw dog section of Sirius, where I then get buried under Pryor, Carlin, Mitch Hedberg, good, the killers. But like, then you go over to like, there's the Blue Collar Comedy channel they have that's a little bit more. They don't want the F word all the time. They don't want your jokes about your butthole. They will, but if you got jokes about being married and pillows and you know what I mean? Like, there's just different. So if I can put out a whole album to just kind of get play over there, it's my material. I don't have a problem repurposing it, but some of it is updated. You know what I mean? I'm writing along they're older bits, but then I'm updating them to kind of make sense with who I am now. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's an interesting platform, right? Because they pay pretty well, satellite. I don't know how it's still in existence.
I don't know. I don't know if they pay well for someone like me. It's based on rotation. It's based on how many spins your thing gets. It's based on, I do something. I have no idea if this works. I make the most of my money, which is not a lot, from like radio play and stuff, I think comes from Pandora. Now, what I do when I go to bed is put on Jon Huck Comedy Pandora and turn the volume down and then let it sit all night on the charger. So like I might be funding my own comedy, but I get the free Pandora. I do the what's it? What is it? $4.99 with commercials. I barely listen to it. Since I got Apple Music, I have not really. Pandora is kind of a thing of the past for me, but I still go on there and I'll put. You can do, and again, this is all stuff I learned from Dan, who was one of the first comedians on Pandora. But you can go on there and do messages and stuff like, "Hey, if you're listening to my comedy, I'm also, and you live in Chicago, I'm also going to be at the yeah." So you can go on there and do, like, as an artist, you can put things in front of your bits that are like, "Hey, thanks for listening, and also I'm going to be in Iowa," or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
So in the off chance, like, again, when I see the analytics, it's like I get played only on other people's channels. No one is specifically looking for me. It's that I also get played on, probably, like, if someone has a Brian Posehn radio channel, it's like my shit will get thrown in there. I probably make it into a little bit of the Kinane Cummins area at times, but nothing like those guys spin. I mean, they make money, I think. I don't know 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's comedy's so subjective. You just got to find your people. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing I've found, and this has been my thought about it for a while now, but it's like I never started doing comedy to be rich. That was never the thing. My original, my the basic reasoning would be I just didn't want to live inside the 9-to-5 box or whatever that is. I was just like, I like the idea of living like this. I don't care if it's paycheck to paycheck or barely getting by, but like kind of living off what you can think and what you can write and what you can say and what you can do.
Yeah.
And I feel like now it's like and then there was a time when I was like, well, now it's a job. Now it's a hustle. Now it's like it went from being this simple, pure thing to being like an industry and a business to now it's back to like, if I do a show and one person is like, dude, that was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, dude. Awesome. Thank you. You know what I mean? And then maybe he goes tomorrow and wakes up and sees actually the real funniest thing he's ever seen somewhere else, and I'm not there. But it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I can connect with a few people and literally just get some laughs, have fun, and get by, like, that's, and have that connection. And I think the pandemic helped me miss that connection. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting burnt out on stand-up, and I realized I like when I can walk onto a stage and there's a bunch of people I don't know, and we can have a thing where I say a bunch of stuff and everyone is like, yeah, I get it. That's funny. We like it, and for 5 seconds, forget that, you've got some, racist uncle or a fucking piece of shit friend, or, you know what I mean? Whatever. Because everyone at these times things are still weird and things are still divided and people are still angry and so if I kind of leave that at all, I feel like I've done something worthwhile. And in the end, it doesn't even none of it. You don't have to worry about it really, because like, go into a bar in, Naperville, Illinois, any bar, and talk to somebody about Lenny Bruce, and they'll go, "Who? What?" Like, they might not know who Lenny Bruce is. You know what I mean? Like, this is a great you're talking about. Eventually you're going to find comics who are very unfamiliar with Richard Pryor. You're going to find comics there's people today who don't know that the thing that they're doing came from Laurel and Hardy, or came from the Three Stooges, or came from the Marx Brothers, and for a lot of those guys, that came from vaudeville, and those guys from fucking, uncles and aunts telling stories and being weirdos. And like, it's all kind of just being redone and repurposed and reused, just like all the energy in the world,
Yeah. I think it's really, an honest and genuine way to go is probably the easiest, because you don't have to remember anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have to remember your lies if you're always telling the truth.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, this is I know what I would say right now because I'm saying it. You know what I mean? Like even material, when it starts to flow like that, is amazing.
Yeah, and also
you don't have to
keeping it,
pretend to believe
like,
it every time.
exactly. You're saying things that you have conviction for and you have feelings about, but also like, even though that's a prepared thing or you've written the bit, there's still you're saying it now. You're in the ever present now when you're up there. You can't get out of the now. You know what I mean? So it's kind
Yep.
of like a forcing. And I think this is what is more prominent now that I don't like drink on stage, or I don't, I don't go on stage cloudy at all. It's like I go on stage
Yeah.
ready to do the thing I'm going on stage for. And if anything, I have to calm myself down because I'm like, oh, I got these things and I want to say these things, and I fucking spaz out. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta rein it back, and be a little bit more calm. But I feel like you have to connect with these people. You have to think about what you're saying and what you're doing in the now. And I think that is something that I have to work on. It just in everyday life, kind of like I'll be on a hike and I'll be like, what would happen if I were to book a role on this show? Or what if I could sell a thing? Or what if I could, what the fuck, dude? Look, you're surrounded by trees. Check out the trees, dude. Look at the trail. Look at what you're doing. Fucking think about the birds. Like, don't, the human brain, just the thinking thing is so bizarre because scientists don't know where thoughts come from. We don't know why we think, but like we think, and it's like probably the biggest problem with the human race is we think about things that haven't happened yet, and we put fucking stories in place that aren't necessarily true. Like people will, oh, that guy doesn't like me. Like that guy doesn't even know you. What? Don't worry about it. Like,
it is interesting that so much of that vitriol and the random bullshit that flies through your head every day that you either verbalize or don't, you memorialize on social media. Some people do. And you start to think that that's real too. And that is also this illusion of like, dude, everybody's saying this. Is like, is everybody? Because not a lot of people are on Twitter to begin with. Not a lot of people type anything into Twitter, secondly. And third, had this crazy thought about it. So is it like 4 people that are insane? Or is it a lot of people? Because, I think it's funny that the news uses Twitter as a source for anything. Like,
but that's where
it's just
I get
like,
it
well,
all
they
first.
said on Twitter. It's just,
that's where I see it first. But also, I'm not a news network going.
Like, for like something going on in the world, there's no better. But what I'm saying is like, you can't trust the source necessarily either. Like if 1 billion people say there was something going down, you can trust that happened. But the hot takes on Twitter that make it to the news, and like, dude, they're getting brought up as evidence and things. And it's just like, well, you might as well texted it to yourself.
A lot of that is can be irresponsible too, though. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, somebody said who is this? Jesus Christ, who is the person? Why did they say it? Where is it coming from? How do they know? Like, you know what I mean? There's so many things. Like Twitter's blowing up with this. It's like, yeah, but these people are all also smoking meth. Like, who cares what these people think? Why are we going to that? It's just very strange.
Yeah,
but it's also the internet, because the internet has promised everyone a voice. That's what the internet's like. You can all be heard, and then it turns out like, whoa, we don't want to hear from a lot of you. A lot of you are idiots. Did not see that coming, I guess.
Oh my God, dude. It is hard to take. It is a lot. I have to do like a timer on my phone, just like tell me that I've been on the app for 15 minutes and just like, okay, cool. I'm going to turn it off then. Thank you.
Yeah. I find myself like if I'm on there for a couple minutes and I haven't like put anything up, what am I doing? Am I just catch myself doing that. I'm like, yeah, done. Put the phone away. Like I'll literally go outside and like stare at nothing. Like just act like my cat.
They have it the best, man.
Dude, they do. They do have it the best. I just get pet. Someone brushes me. Someone wipes my butt when I get poops in it. Lucky fuckers.
Oh my God. I was talking to my father-in-law the other day because he's an old school baseball guy.
Love it.
And I wanted to get his take on the designated hitter situation in pro baseball that recently
in the
changed.
National League.
Yeah. I'd love to hear your take. I have mine, and it keeps changing every time I talk to a different person. I'm like, okay. But
well, I'm curious to how old's your father-in-law?
he is 86, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was his take?
He's a traditionalist.
So he didn't like it.
He didn't like it. No.
But
any change makes him angry.
I was going to say, was he like adamant that Wrigley Field never get lights? Was he like, is he always against progress?
If he had his way, he might have, been saying it was more pure before they had lights. Yeah.
I will say this. When I was a kid, I didn't want lights there either. I was like, don't put lights at Wrigley Field. But also, I was an old man as a kid because I would hear old people talk, and then I would go, yeah, you can't change that. That's the fucking law. That's the rule. You got to fucking salute the flag. It's like, I was a little kid who like had old person brain.
Yeah.
Just because I was easily influenced and manipulated as a child. But yeah, I think at this point, I don't want to be a guy who gets in the way of, like, things are going to change whether you want them to or not.
Yeah.
So don't be the guy that's trying to stand in front of the change and then like it just goes by you laughing at you. You know what I mean? Like, they were always eventually going to make both leagues even, meaning there was going to be either a DH in both or a DH in none. Personally, I would have liked to have seen them take it out of the American League and make pitchers hit there too.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm not a purist. I'm not a registered baseball historian, but there's something about pitchers not being able to hit that drives me insane. You as a pitcher should know what's coming, how fast it's going to be, how this guy throws. Like, you should understand more about the pitch coming at you than most batters. And yet they tend to be the worst hitters because I get it. They spend their lives working at pitching and not hitting. And once you get to a certain point, and if you don't have that pitching skill and you don't have that hitting skill, you have to go bye-bye. I was 14. I stepped in the batter's box. Somebody threw a 75-mile-an-hour curveball, and I was like, I'm done here. Like, goodbye, everybody. And that was like one of my last games of organized baseball because I wasn't a pitcher. I was slow. So if I couldn't hit, no one was going to be like, come on, play for us, dude. Like, that was never, I mean, maybe the Cubs would at this point because they don't fucking know what they're doing. But so I would say it's progress. It was going to happen. It's interesting now. I don't mind it. I don't mind having like the Cubs being able to play all their guys and like Hendricks not having to hit. You know what I mean? I don't mind that. I feel like the game is going to change the way the game changes, whether I care about it or not. So I just try to see some of the positives and embrace it. Like, they did roll back some nonsense that they started during that 2020 season, but then there's still like, isn't there still a guy on second base at extra innings? Are they still doing that?
I don't know. That would make me angry if I did see that.
Oh no, yeah, they would do in 2020. They started for anything like a tie game in the 9th, if they had to go to the 10th or whatever. They would put a guy on second for the team. Each team would get a guy on second. So if you could knock that guy in, you still had to play the full inning.
Right.
But it was one of those things when I first saw it, I was like, come on, dude, we don't need that.
At that point, you're in extra innings. Like, are we really trying to shorten the game?
It's like, that's what they were doing. They were playing like 7-inning games during the pandemic too. Like, everything was very strange.
Really?
Yeah. And when people talk about the Dodgers, when they're the haters, they're like, oh, that was a shortened season and that's horse shit. They shouldn't have played the World Series, or they definitely shouldn't have won it. I think that like they definitely should have won the World Series. And playing that season, whether you played 162 games or not, the mental
nightmare.
wherewithal to continue playing baseball as the world was literally shut down. People were dropping dead in the streets.
Yeah.
No fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much you feed off that? Can you imagine going out on stage as a comedian, no fans, but you got to sell those jokes. Like,
yeah.
"Hey, yeah, everybody, these are great. I'm glad we're having fun." Nobody's there. Crickets. Like,
Yeah.
when they first started airing those games, they
Yeah.
had to literally that night figure out what they're going to do about the sound, because
Yeah.
you could hear the dugouts talking to each other.
Yep. Yep.
And everyone was like, "Oh no, we can't have
Yeah.
baseball." Like, these guys are like, "Fuck you, fuck you."
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of
they're
liked
just-
it.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious because
Yeah.
they were just, the players didn't know and they didn't care.
Yeah.
But like with no sound to drown that out, you're hearing everything. You're hearing managers snore. You're hearing like,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a very interesting couple of years of baseball, man. And then taking the All-Star game out of Atlanta or whatever
Yeah.
it was, that was crazy. And then, I don't know. But this season, the Cubs are terrible. I don't mind the DH. It seemingly hasn't affected anything in my head. I am super stoked to see a guy like, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Sean Ohanty? Oh, the guy for the Angels. Ohanty? How do you say his name? Jesus. But he's the guy. He's a phenomenal pitcher, and he hits home runs. Like, when he's not pitching, he's in the lineup as a DH.
Wow.
He's a starting pitcher and a
Yeah.
designated hitter. Like, I don't know why there aren't more of that guy.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Well,
Yeah.
they don't let them hit,
hey,
like you said, at a certain
Oshanti.
level. Maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll put it in the show notes. They don't let you hit at a certain level once you get up there if you're a pitcher.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
minor
you're-
leagues,
yeah.
maybe even college, they're just like, yeah, you're not hitting anymore. So they're out of practice. But
That
it
is
is
why, you're
weird.
right.
It seems like a missed opportunity. Like, because usually when you're growing up in Little League, the best player is the pitcher who can also hit. They're the tallest,
Yep.
they're-
I was going to say the
you know.
tallest for sure. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if you just stop them doing that when they're 18, you might be missing a trick. But, the thing is, like, do you remember? I think it was the Mets or it was the Braves in like the 80s with like Tom
Dale Murphy.
They had a bunch of pitchers. They were beasts.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Tom
Greg Maddox,
Glavine, Greg
Tom
Maddox,
Glavine,
Yeah,
Greg Maddox, John Smoltz.
exactly. That crew,
yeah.
that starting crew, they fucking they just were a wrecking crew, and it
They
was
were
very
insanely
strategic.
good.
Because my theory is that also all those pitchers could hit because they were in a huge bet with each other on who could have the best average. So they were incentivized within themselves as a pitching crew to get hits. And, the pitcher's an automatic out in baseball most of the time. Like,
Except those rare, like Carlos
they might be able to
Zambrano
bunt.
or, yeah.
They might pop one here or there, get lucky, get on base, maybe draw a walk, something like that. But like the pitcher was not somebody you were worried about as a hitter. They had to bring him out a jacket, like.
Dude, remember when they put
Like,
jackets on him on first base?
The satin
'cause
jacket.
They couldn't take him out.
Yeah. That's a big miss on the DHs.
Dude, I feel that was back in the days when like dudes were still smoking in dugouts and like
100%.
Jim Leland, like
Yeah.
I've coached the Tigers for 75 years. Like I think it's been 5, but you do look 100.
So that was strategic for them because they got hits when most people got out, which flipped the lineup earlier and earlier in a game. And I was like, see, you're missing that if you don't do it. So I was a little bit of a holdout, but I also love the idea of pulling the DH from the American League and making them hit. But you probably have
panic though. They would cry.
Oh, yeah.
They would be
Yeah.
so much panic. They would be like, I don't want to know. Because some pitchers like they just go to the American League on purpose. So, like I never want to.
Yeah. I never want to do that.
Baseball
Well,
thrown
dude,
at me.
You got scared at a 75 mile an hour pitch. Like, dude,
I can't even fathom the idea that a man throws a baseball 106 miles an hour and there's a guy on the other end with a stick that's supposed to hit that, but he can't start with it out. He has to bring it around.
Dude,
It's
my
like-
Legion, when I was in Legion, I was catching and my pitcher could throw in the 90s, like pretty consistently.
Ouchie.
And it was frightening for a batter. Like it was just like you couldn't even, like there's nothing you could do. And then he would like he had a nasty slider and a nasty like change up, and it was just
If you
it was
can put
ridiculous.
movement on a ball going that fast, if you can put movement on a ball going 80 miles an hour, I don't have anything in common with you physically. Like we shouldn't be paired against each other in any way. It'd be like, remember
It's
when Rocky
nuts.
had to fight Hulk Hogan in Rocky 3? It's just like two different sports at that point, just butting heads. Like I want to
what
play
was
lay
his
down
name in
and
the-
don't get beamed.
What was
Thunderlips.
his name? Thunderlips.
He picks up Rocky. He's like, I thought this was an exhibition. He picks him up to
Breaks
body
his
slam.
back.
He throws it. He's like, Adrian, catch me. He throws around the thing.
Good
I was
God.
talking about Rocky 3 the
Thunderlips.
other day. That movie, Rocky 3, was on. It came to HBO like the week we got HBO when we were kids. So it was like,
Yeah.
I saw Rocky 3 probably 150 times, went out in the yard, punched my brother in the stomach a couple times. Like, I'm a boxer.
That was Clubber Lang, right?
Dude, Mr. T.
Mr. T and
You ain't so bad.
James
You ain't
Brown.
so bad.
James
No,
Brown's
James Brown
in
was
that
the
movie.
fourth one. He's in the
Oh,
fourth
was
one.
it? Damn it.
Yeah.
Living
That's
in
the
America.
fourth one's when Apollo dies. Yeah.
That's right.
Drago.
Yep.
It's supposed to be an exhibition, and Drago almost break you.
Apparently, he did actually hit him.
He killed him, yeah.
Stallone.
Carl Weathers died in that movie. Nobody ever talks about that, though. It's weird. It's not
He's
even
a
any of
body
the
double since then.
It's been a robot, actually. It's been a Carl Weathers.
The Italian stallion. Oh my God. I love Eddie Murphy's bit about Rocky. Just like when
Oh, dude, when he
Italian
comes out of
kids
the
come out of the theater, like,
Hey, I will
hey,
box
yo.
some juicy fruits. You
oh,
just saw
it's so
Rocky,
brutal.
didn't you? And they're
Excuse
like,
me, little Italian white man.
Come quick. There's an Italian man with his head stuffed up his own ass.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, but, you know, like, it was weird growing up with that cable shit. Like, whatever was on, you watched it a million times.
A million times. And there are some things that are just burnt. Like, to me, like the beginning of the HBO, like,
Yeah, that flying
that
shot.
is the beginning of Rocky
Yeah.
3 to
Yep.
me, because that was every single time I watched Rocky. And then the John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah, not when you're like 7 years old and the head comes off and turns into a spider. I'm like, was literally like, shitting my pants.
Yeah, I'm never going to
What is
Antarctica.
this? Dude, yeah, I'm never going to visit Santa in the North Pole. I can tell you that. It looks miserable. Yeah, I mean, cable was it was crazy, dude, because we just saw so much nonsense.
Weird
I
Science
loved it,
was
though.
another one. Better Off Dead.
Dude, Better Off Dead and Weird Science I saw, though, before I think I got cable, but so good. I mean, think about Better Off Dead. I know people talk about this. Can't make that movie today, but Better Off Dead is literally a movie about a high school kid trying to kill himself over and over and over because the girl he doesn't like dumped him. Like, can you imagine trying to, hey, I want to pitch a comedy about kill himself. And the executive's like, okay, you need to get even we can read the room now, and it's not a good idea. But that movie was so good. I love it.
I love the car in that movie. And I'm not
Dude,
like a
when he
motorhead
fixes
or
it.
anything, but like, dude, that car is dope as shit.
That girl is the girl who was also in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. She was one of the princesses, the girl that he likes in them. Yeah, I follow her online now. She's got a daughter who acts, and she still like goes to all the conventions and stuff, and like, because she's been
not
in a
even
bunch
French.
of 80s stuffs. She's not French. I'm sorry to break it to you. They do that sometimes.
You are, how you say, doghead? He's an unleashed sex fiend.
Yeah, I like when you say his testicles. He put his testicles over me.
NT.
What?
Big difference.
Tentacles.
Yeah. The $2 gets too many quotes in that movie. That's not even the best part. I mean, it's definitely quotable, but there's so much crazy shit in that
to
movie.
me, the best part is like towards the beginning when everyone wants to date. Like his teacher's like, hey, I saw you and Beth broke up. Like everyone
Yeah.
wants to date his
Yeah.
girlfriend. And he's just like, what the fuck? Like,
And talked about that girl, Beth. Oh my God. Yeah.
and then
it's
his
funny.
dad, I think it was Jeffrey Tambor, is like, you're really bringing me
over, man.
down. What? You're bringing me down. Oh, right. Turns the page of the book. All right, Dad, thanks. I got to go.
Dude, that guy, some of my favorite movies, John Cusack, and they're so like, I mean, obviously Say Anything got a lot of attention, but like by then, like Better Off Dead was a shit movie, really. Like I think it found all of its audience on
VHS.
cable, right? Like did it come out
Cable
on the movies? Like was that in the movie theater?
It must have been. I mean, I did not
guess,
see it in
right?
the movie theater. I saw it. I'm sure I saw it from a Blockbuster rented, or somebody had it on VHS. Because there was a lot of that. Even before Blockbuster, I remember like the movie DC Cab. My friend had a tape of.
Yeah.
Insanity.
That's funny.
Like I missed that. We talk about that going to Blockbuster on like a Friday. Even when I first moved out here, we would go to like Blockbuster and be like, hey, let's get a movie. Like it was just a thing. It was like it was more exciting than like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to go backwards. I like being able to turn on Netflix.
It was part of the date though too.
But it was even that is even just like getting baked with a buddy and being like, let's spend 9 hours trying to pick out when we finally agree on one movie, they're out of it.
Yeah.
So now we gotta go.
Yeah.
Let's
start
just
again.
Get Jaws again. Like let's just get Red Dawn. Let's just
dude. I ran video stores all through college.
Oh,
so
dude,
like
I would have tried to be friends with you.
It was so dope. Like it was such a great job. It had its moments of being really shitty, but it was really fun. Like,
dude, it's like working at a liquor store in college. Like you just get take. Like,
we had, as soon as movies came out, we all had them, and we're all movie dorks sometimes. Like whatever would come out, like Forrest Gump was the first movie that had like 1 million copies in the store. Like that was a new idea to like, because those fucking tapes were expensive back in the day.
Right. Yeah.
So like the first time they did it, Forrest Gump was like, we're going to give you 150 movies, 150 copies of this thing and see what happens. Like they brought us to these. All
sold out.
Dude, it went fucking crazy. But before that, the reason you had rental is because to buy one movie was like $100. So they would track how many times it rented to return its purchase price. And if people broke them and shit, you're like, fuck, it's going to take us 6 months to get this movie back. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Yeah.
To have just everything now all the time is like, man,
spoiled.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's also overload. There's a case to be made for like, anti-binging and stuff like that. It's like there was something, and again, I'm in no way demanding we take things back to the Stone Age.
No, it's way better now.
I'm not trying to stand in the way of progress, but I'm just saying there was something about like I watched an episode of a show, now I have to wait till next week to see the next episode. And there's 22 episodes in a season, and there's 12 seasons of the show, and they're gonna, now it's like this Amazon show has 6 episodes. You can binge it all in a fucking literally 20 minutes, and then then they don't make any more. Like we just started watching the new season of Westworld.
Yeah.
It's been about 18 years since I saw the last season.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
I literally, we're watching it. They're like, and then there was a war. My wife goes, well, there was a what? And I go, I don't know. The guy from Breaking Bad is
idea.
on here, and I don't know. Like this, he's a welder. I don't know. But like, I just keep watching it. No idea what's happening. I'm like, well, I watched the first season. We watched the first season, and then we watched the movie. Have you ever seen the movie?
The old one?
The 1973 Yul Brynner.
I think I saw it when it came out, like back then.
It's actually really well done for a 1970s sci-fi like robot thing. Like, but it's it's very different, and you can see where you think you can see where they're going to take the show, and then the show. Then, like I said, now we're just both like, well, sure, I watch it. It's only an hour long. I have no idea what it is. Yeah,
it's fascinating, and it's usually the set design is really cool.
And just the acting is interesting, and you know what I mean? I can still enjoy it.
It can't be the same writers. Like, it must have been changing hands.
Yeah, I always feel like you must have a plan. You go and you pitch a show like that. You're like, here's a 5-season arc. And if it doesn't get to 5 seasons, you have to figure out a way to kind of cut it short. And if it goes past 5 seasons, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when Lost was like, we're going past our 5-season mark. It was like, oh, Jesus, dude, we don't have any ideas
what are we going to do?
That.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Then there's shows like The Wire that were pitched. It was a perfect 5-season. This is what it is. Boom. Start to finish.
I like that. I like that when it's clean and of one mind. Like I think that's the most quality show, even if it's long. Like the BBC will do that. They'll have like, there's just, there's only this many. We just wanted to make this many, and that's all there is. We're done.
And that's the other thing is I like not having I talk about the old days when they had 22 episodes, but I also like there not being any kind of rule.
Yeah.
You can, hey, we wrote a show, and instead of dragging something, which you'll still see, like
there's a lot of dragging.
Dude, there's a lot of like, this is a great documentary series if you would have just only shown 3 episodes. And
Making a Murderer was 14. The one I was like so pissed.
Well, when they kept coming back, I was like, we're doing another one? Like they made another Tiger King? Like, we've already,
They are all too long. They're all just like, dude, edit this shit. Like the Making of a Murderer one made me absolutely go crazy.
Because it was just kept going. You're like,
it's like, get to the end. Like
smash this together. Like it's too drawn out. But that Making a Murderer, especially though, came from a podcast where they were trying to fill 10 episodes or whatever. So like each podcast, you're like, we know, we got that part. Come on. Like,
It's like there's no understanding of the actual attention span. Like the calculus that, we'll spend more time than they ever thought, right? Like we'll watch Game of Thrones and, get engaged across all of that period of time. And it can be a long, complicated story. Like, look what they did to Marvel. Like, it's so huge. That universe is huge. And there are people that understand all of it and everybody's place in it. Millions and millions of people, right? So we can handle it. It doesn't give you a license or an excuse to waste my fucking time, too. It's just like, you don't have to do 6 episodes. It's an interesting story. Like,
right. But
you
then
could
it's
do
kind of
3.
up to us to decide how are we, if it's a waste of our time. Because I've done that too. I've been in the middle of a show and gone, nah, I'm done.
Really?
And then just fucking walked away.
Yeah.
Or like, me and my wife, we watched something together, and she is like, we both know it's bad, but she's like, I'm going to continue to watch it. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Like, don't wait for me. I'll drop out if I have to check my phone or look at the time more than like 2 or 3 times during an hour to find out how long something, I'm not interested.
It's totally subjective, obviously, but like, it's interesting. They're like throwing, I read an article about Westworld in particular the other day that was saying the numbers are just terrible because nobody understands it. Like,
and also
I'm like researching, like what's going on with this?
Yeah.
What world are we in?
That's the thing is if you wanted to, you could get online, probably find a forum, follow along and get caught up and figure it all out. But like, I don't want to do that.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot
Put
of
it
work,
in the show.
I enjoy put it in the show, but I also enjoy the idea of watching a show. When that show is done, I'm done with the show. It's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was entertained in the moment for the show, but I don't like walk around going, I can't believe season 8 of Game of Thrones. Like I didn't write Game of Thrones. Other people wrote it. If I didn't want to watch it, I can close my eyes, fucking look over there, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no excuse for being mad at a TV show or getting upset with, I can't believe how they ended Sopranos. Did you work on the show? Did you have a different idea that they rejected?
Yeah.
No. This was the guy who created the show. The guy gave you how many seasons of shit that you absolutely loved, and you're going to go fucking bananas over the end.
And honestly, that ending is a fucking masterpiece.
Dude, like, when you look at the fact that Tony Soprano in a therapy session, when she said, what do you think happens when you die? And he says, everything just goes black.
Yeah.
4 seasons earlier, he said that. If you put that together at all, or you understand that the guy at the bar was so-and-so's brother who he had just had killed, of course he's getting whacked.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't get to make it out alive. He's a piece of shit.
Yep.
You can't have Tony Soprano with his fucking toes in the sand sipping Mai Tais. He was a fucking bad dude.
Yeah.
He got his. That's what happens.
It was
I think was
fucking
the point.
masterpiece. Like shot
Yeah.
for shot, the way he set it up. Like
I was scared and confused at first. Like, oh my God, my fucking TV went out. This piece of shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad I wasn't like drunk or in a bad mood or like fucking smashing
Yeah.
your TV to only find out that it was part of the show.
yeah. No, it was that one in particular. I get up in arms when people give it shit because I'm like, you're just mad. You're guessing what happened, but like, dude, that shit was beautifully tied together over such a long haul.
I don't get mad at any TV anymore. Like,
yeah,
there's like characters I'm like, this is frustrating and irritating. Again, I'll just stop watching. I don't. The thing to me is like someone created that show. Like now that we kind of know what goes into even
how hard it is to even get there. Yeah,
just to get a fucking pitch meeting, and
Yeah.
then to have that meeting go beyond anything else
Yeah.
to them. Like, I mean, I've had multiple pitch meetings and I've had good feelings in all of them, and they've all gone nowhere.
Yeah.
Some as fast as, hey, we're going to pass. I just got back to my car from the conference room we were just sitting in. But okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you guys were laughing and having fun, but okay. Like,
Yep.
you know, to know what it takes to, and I used to be very harsh on actors when I was younger. Like, if an actor did a movie that I wasn't into, I was like, fuck this fucking dick. Like,
Yeah.
then I would be mad at that actor. Like, what a psychopath. But that's how people, they're like, I didn't like him in this movie. He could fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, dude, they're movies.
Yeah.
Someone paid this guy an exorbitant amount of money to go play a guy named Steve who did this other thing, and you didn't like it? Don't look at it. Who fucking cares? You think the guy with the big paycheck is like, oh, John, a middle school student from Warrenville, Illinois, is not a fan of this movie? Like,
Yeah.
no one fucking cares if you don't like. When people go out of their way to tell you what they don't like, get away from those fucking people.
Yeah.
When you're like, hey, I just rewatched Godfather. I really like it. You know why Godfather's fake? I didn't like it. I don't like it. Like, okay. You can say I'm not a fan. You can say I didn't like it. And if I want to know why, I can ask. But for you to keep fucking pushing that, like, I didn't like it. Yeah, I thought this and this and that. What? No one asked. No one fucking asked.
I got so wrapped up in the Lightyear movie because my son loves it, and it is. I mean, it's the animation's unbelievable. What they can do with animation
Pixar,
now, first of all,
that...
Pixar. Yeah. But like, it's at home now, so like we've seen it a couple times, and just the other day, it was like the third time I've seen it. I was just like, spoiler alert, like. Basically, they get stranded on a planet because Buzz Lightyear fucked up, right? And you're just like, imagine how terrible he must feel. Like that character is loaded with just like, you're just like, wow. Like, it hit me really hard. I was like, if anybody doesn't like this movie, they're crazy. How is he going to get out of this? Like, it's just like, oh, it's so brutal.
Well, from the only person who's not going to like that movie, though, is Tim Allen. That's the only person.
Yeah, and I don't know the whole backstory there, like, but they set it up, and maybe they did it as an afterthought because of the Tim Allen thing. But like, the beginning of the movie makes it. They tell you why it's not Tim Allen. Like,
yeah, no, they
it's just like.
It.
So I'm just like, okay, like, isn't he still making money from being Buzz Lightyear already?
Yes.
Right. Yes. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't need to.
His residuals don't go away because he didn't get cast in the new movie. You know what I mean? And people are still watching all the Toy Stories, and don't worry about Tim Allen. Tim Allen.
He had a network show back when having a network shows was like,
two massive network shows.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus movies.
Right. Yeah. He's all right.
Yeah, dude.
He'll be fine.
Plus, if he's still selling cocaine like he did in Michigan back in the 70s and 80s, he must be loaded.
Oh man, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, creativity and all that shit. It's very interesting to even get a peek behind how hard it is to get it done.
Right.
And then,
so knowing that, you can't get upset when.
Yeah.
Because also, like, just know that the show's just not for you. That's it. Like, I don't like this thing. That thing's not geared at you. I'm not supposed to be watching Power Rangers. I'm a grown man. Like, what? I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's weird.
But
Well, it's
also,
always so.
you can care about it. That's the other thing. It's set up that if you're a grown man that likes Power Rangers is on TV all the time. It's like,
Dude,
you can entertain yourself, and if you can't figure out how to do that, man, you gotta get some help.
I'm pretty immature, I guess, or whatever. I'm whatever. But like, I just started watching Bob's Burgers. I missed the world of Bob's Burgers, and like I'm literally just I saw the movie, and I was like, how did I not watch this? And so
it's such a good show.
Me and my son are watching it from the beginning, and I'm like, this is unbelievably, incredibly excellent. Like, and there's a lot of shit that he doesn't get, but I'm just like, don't worry about it.
Those are my favorite kind of cartoons. When you can watch with a child and they can laugh at what's funny because it's a cartoon, and you can laugh at the adult shit that's like, yeah. I mean, SpongeBob SquarePants, dude, lives in Bikini Bottom. Like that. Fucking, that's an adult joke. I don't care. Whatever. That's funny.
Dude, it's fun. Cartoons are so excellent, and like,
and they've come. So I mean, they're even the kind of random ones I find. I don't know if you know Mike Hollinsworth, the guy who helped directed some BoJack Horseman and was a writer on that show. I think it was a animator on that show.
Yeah,
very talented dude. Every cartoon you watch now, look for his name because he's somehow connected to it. And they're making a Golden Girls cartoon in the future.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, just amazing ideas that are original and funny, and everything that guy touches is like.
That's so cool.
I just found BoJack Horseman. I took a pilot writing class, and one of the pilots they told me to watch. They give you a list every week, and one of the pilots was BoJack Horseman, and I had never seen it. I knew Mike. I'd met him at a party.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. When I saw his name on it, I was like, oh, good for him. He sold a cartoon.
Yeah.
But I never went out of my way to watch it because I kind of had cartoons that I already liked, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
BoJack Horseman is like a dramatic comedy, and I'm still in the middle of season 3 or 4 or whatever, but like really well done. Really well done. Like good character development, good storyline about the business, like about entertainment, about like ego and just kind of like how to live and how not to live, and like it's very, very it's a thoughtful show. It's way more like you're like, oh, a horse is a fucking okay, great cartoon.
Yeah.
It's not. It's if they would have made that cartoon in the 50s, it would have been Mr. Ed the cartoon. But like this is the guy who had the Mr. Ed show, who is now an out of work actor, but a horse. I don't know. It's really amazing. Well done. It's really well done.
I'll have to check it out.
Job. And I know anyone listening to this is like, yeah, dude, that was like 10 years ago at this point. Like BoJack Horseman has been over for a while, but like you're just finding shows. That's the other things. The way that things live where they live now. You kind of going back watching old movies. You can find old TV. I'm watching T.J. Hooker on Tubi in order. Oh my God. Holy shit, is that show? That is the funniest drama that has ever been made, dude. Watch that show, dude. They're cops. They're LA cops. They run everywhere with their guns out. They climb fences holding their guns. They jump down a wall. Their guns are always out. He jumps on the hood of a car. His gun is out, like pointed right at the dude's face. It's the funniest.
Oh my God.
You'll never see a cop use a billy club like William Shatner, dude. He's fucking conducting drills. Like, it is comedy, dude.
Oh my God.
It is the highest form of comedy. I watched old Columbos, but TJ Hooker they try so hard to be dramatic. It's too much.
It's got to be hard for Shatner to pull it off.
That's the thing. It's one of those, like, he's like, I miss the time when baseball players hustled. Men were men. You're like, what is this speech? No one's asking for that. It's just TJ Hooker. And why would they name him TJ Hooker? Why is everyone called Hooker? I'm like, that's a terrible name. Like, it's such a bizarre.
Wow.
It's so funny though, dude. I highly recommend it.
I think I'm gonna have to give that a shot too. There's not enough time in the day.
that's the thing is you're like, how much time am I really going to waste watching every episode of TV? I mean, I get like, I'm, season 3 at this point, like, okay, it's not usually at that stage of the game, the show's not going to like pick up the pace and get good.
No,
it's like,
no.
it's always going to be, then they're bringing in another blonde chick and then Adrian Zemed's going to lead the show and then who's coming in.
I wonder if I haven't given it a shot, but I wonder if I could, like, I used to love Knight Rider. I wonder if that's just as ridiculous as I thought it was.
I think it depends on the show because I would be curious. I used to love Knight Rider as well. And I feel like it would be funny to watch a couple episodes. I remember when I was in college and they were bringing Dukes of Hazzard back to TNN for reruns. Yeah. And me and some friends were like, holy shit. Like when we were kids, Dukes of Hazzard was a great show for us. Friday night, CBS.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're all going to gather. We all lived in this trailer. We all went and got beers. We're going to watch Dukes of Hazzard. The pilot episode comes on. We're all like, yay. 10 minutes into the pilot, my friend was like, I don't remember it being this inbred. Like the first, like, he's like, Daisy, if you weren't my cousin. And then everything is like, we are dumb hicks. And I was like, should they have the General Lee painted with the Confederate flag? Like, this is weird. Like, and like, we didn't even make it past the pilot before we just stopped watching altogether. I was like, this show doesn't hold up. It's not good. Like, where you watch a show like MacGyver, and if you like the premise of who MacGyver is, the show holds up still, Like, there are some shows like TJ Hooker doesn't hold up. That's the comedy of it.
That's why it's funny.
They wrote a dramatic show about the LA police that is so beyond the scope of reality that it's insane. It's insane. and he's everywhere. He always finds the criminal. We pull up right as they're robbing the thing. Cops are nowhere ever when you need them ever. TJ Hooker is literally all over Los Angeles. He's on every fucking corner. And
it's such a small town.
LA is so tiny, not sprawling. So small, dude. Everybody knows him. Oh, hey, Hooker. Oh, that's my informant, Steve the Pimp. And it's always like, you want to keep pushing this garbage on kids. It's like, oh my God, dude, shut the fuck up.
There was a lot of Southern culture on TV. I feel like, like even like Smokey and the Bandit, like truckers and
truckers,
Southern cops.
But Smokey and the Bandit made Southern people look like idiots. Like Burt Reynolds wasn't Southern. He was like, he wasn't like, hi ho. He was like, these two fucking hillbillies want Coors. Jackie Gleason is a fathead. Like, it's like, there's no, that, by the way, Smoking the Bandit is a damn near perfect movie. Like, it's got comedy, drama, car chases, a love story, beer, a fat cop. Jackie Gleason and Burt Reynolds are in a movie together. You can't really go wrong with Smoking the Bandit.
I'm a big Cannonball Run fan.
Those movies are like the equivalent of what Sandler does today. Like, those movies are like all a bunch of friends that were like, hey, you guys want to make a dumb movie about a road? It's like, and they just went on vacation and made a crazy movie.
It is, and Hooper was another one that was on HBO all the time.
Stunt man.
Yeah. That one I loved.
Dude, Burt Reynolds. Have you seen the last one of his last movies? It was he plays an older. I'll get the name of it for you, but he plays an older, washed-up actor who's miserable, who gets invited to a film festival because they want to honor his career. He goes to the film festival. It's one kid who loves his movies, who's having a makeshift film festival, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Tries to leave, and is basically like mean to all these people, and they're still like, "We love your movies, bro. We love you." And
I got to see that.
It's a really good, well done movie.
I think the last thing I saw him in was Showgirls when he was like that politician.
Oh, this is way better. It
was brilliant. He made that movie.
This is way better than that. But yes, he did make Showgirls made itself, but you know what I mean? Like, that was destined to be something people talk about for a very long time in cinema. It's like the red
it's
door
iconic.
or the green. It's like Marilyn Chambers
behind the green door.
Yeah.
Also,
it's like that
Cannonball
kind
Run.
Cannonball Run.
Also in Cannonball Run. That's what they were.
Dude, right.
That's what they were watching in the show.
Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin are in
How
Cannonball
hammered were they throughout the recording of that movie?
It's so the amount of generations of celebrity that those movies span is so, because it's like the people that are literally weren't famous the day after that movie came out are in it, and then people that were already celebrities before, like you got Dean Martin to be in Cannonball Run, like what, like. It's one of those things as you're pitching the movie, you're like, and then we'll get Sammy Davis Jr. And the executive's like, well, let's just see who's available. You know. But then everyone agrees to do it. And you're like,
what's bananas is that that's real. People do that.
The road trip, the
Cannonball Run. Yeah.
It was real before that movie though, right?
Yeah.
They based it on that idea. Yeah.
But it still happens like periodically. I don't know if it's every year.
I'm sure it's
not as funny,
and people die. Probably it's just like
it's insane.
Yeah, we sped through traffic in our fast automobiles, and
it's like a logistical thing with GPS and shit. Now it's getting like all super technical, but that movie's so ridiculous. And Dom DeLuise, and they basically kidnap Farrah Fawcett in the ambulance.
Yeah, dude, Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds are like a weird Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah,
they're like a. They're not drug addicts. I mean, Dom DeLuise was hopped up on pasta sauce. And Burt Reynolds wasn't. I mean, maybe some cocaine, but I don't think Burt Reynolds was like a lunatic. You know what I mean?
And the end where he's trying to kill himself, it's not high enough.
I've never seen that whole thing. I only saw the beginning. And isn't that the beginning when he runs off the thing?
He keeps trying to jump off the ward they're in. I don't know what, like, I just have like a fever dream remembrance of that, a few lines from that. And Sally Field, I mean, she was in all those movies.
Dude.
And
Sally Field was awesome in Smokey and the Bandit.
And that trucker guy with his dog. Like
Jerry Reed.
Yeah.
You can watch Jerry. Remember the show Alice?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, Jerry Reed was like a guest. He would be on that show like every 2 weeks. Like, I'm here to see Mel. Like, I'm Jerry Reed. And he was always playing himself. And it's like, Jerry Reed again? All right. He was on Scooby-Doo. Jerry Reed and Scooby-Doo. Like, Jerry Reed was everywhere for a little while.
It's so funny that block of time to have so many things conspire to like formulate so many people that I know growing up, like, was because we all had cable. We all watched those same like 40 movies.
Yep.
All of our references
it was a smaller world. It was a smaller, the entertainment world was smaller, because now, even as kids growing up, there's like one kid's watching Umi Zoomy on an iPad. Yeah. One kid watches Blocks and Shapes on a 55-inch television. One kid watches stuff on his mom's phone. One kid watches a different television show. One kid's not allowed to watch cartoons. When you were a kid, you went to school, everyone talked about Super Friends, Snorks, all the shit you watched on Saturday. It was all like you said, we all watched the same thing because that's all there was. We all like the same 40 movies. It wasn't like we had like a million movies to choose from. Like there'd only been 7 movies made by the time I was fucking 8. So
the implication of that non-shared experience has got to manifest into like, less of a cohesive society, maybe, but it's global. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I can't imagine what it's going to be like, because that was almost like a social experiment, well,
there was a little bit of, you do lose the social aspect of discussing the same thing. You know what I mean? You're not just going, we all watch TV. Like, you watch the specific same thing on TV. And I feel like, and then again, it's more important for some people, less important. Like, my mom is still always confused. She's always like, man, you guys could watch the TV show and like remember everything about it, but you couldn't remember like where you put your house key or
weren't
where
interested.
Your shoes were. Or I was like, yeah, but because that no one gives a shit about that. Like, what do I care about the fucking house keys? Like, I want to know why Scooby-Doo, I mean, whatever it is, it's like, it means more to different people. I think, some people never watch TV growing up and they're fine. They're actually probably better than fine.
They're fine. Their brain doesn't fire at them all of the different quotes from all those 70s movies randomly. Usually apropos, but you know,
Dude, they always make sense to you and whoever else would understand the movie you're quoting. But
you bounce them off somebody that doesn't know what movie you're talking about. It's just like, are you mentally ill? Like,
my
why would
brother
you
has
say
whole
that?
conversations in movie quotes, and if you don't know what he's talking
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
it's just people are like, I can't. What is he doing? My mom is like, what are you talking about? It's a movie. Never mind. He's a weirdo. Like,
Yeah.
my dad would
God.
just eat dinner and just shake his head. But we got that from him. Like he spoke in movie quotes. You know what I mean? He would quote Laurel and Hardy and Three Stooges and these fucking Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner radio shows and
Oh yeah.
Chris Elliott's dad, Bob Elliott,
Yeah.
had a radio show that my dad was listening to all the time. I was like, that's where I got it from. I got it from him. My mom didn't teach me to do that. She has no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
But my dad would always pretend like, oh, you fucking idiots. Like, yeah, well, where do you think we learned it?
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you said about like not wanting to be the guy that's standing there blocking because it's going to change. So you just got to roll with it and like enjoy it. Like, I got to wonder, when is that point where you just stop paying attention to new shit? It's like, I don't think I'm gonna.
I mean, it depends on what it is. You know, I mean, at least once a day, I feel like my wife is like, oh, do you know this song? And like, she'll have a song in her head. I'm like, no, I don't. She goes, it's all over the radio. I'm like, yeah, but I
would never hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's on like, WCKG, like classic rock, I don't listen to pop culture radio. You know what I mean? If I hear it on a show or whatever, I won't absorb it, but I'll know it, but like, there's like, so like the stuff that's important to you will be important to you. And if you feel,
you'll stick with it.
If you want to see what's new in a field or an area that you're interested in, like NASA never stops doing new shit, and that's always interesting. But at the same time, like pop music, if something's catchy, it's catchy. But I'm not going to go be buying the music I buy is music that I already listen to. You know what I mean? I mean, every once in a while, a new band will come up, but it'll be a band that's along the same lines.
A derivative.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Yeah, I would like to say no, and not a derivative, but like, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just, I like
suggested by the algorithm. You like this, you probably like this,
or like a friend who's like, oh man, we go to these shows. Well, you're gonna like these too.
Well, that's the best. That's the best way.
Yeah,
to get a legit engagement with somebody who's like, dude, like your support of BoJack Horseman. I'm going to check it out. Like, I can't not.
Oh, dude, I highly recommend BoJack for sure. Because you think it's going to be so asinine, and then it is, but it's also like very like heartfelt, and like you're like, yeah, man, this guy's trying to figure out who he is.
Yeah.
Without fame and without money, but he still has, like, everyone knows who he is. He's just a dick. I would watch it.
I can't wait. Well, listen, man, I got to wrap it up. I got to go.
Yeah, dude.
I'm getting called into the house, but dude, it's so good to catch up. We got to make the frequency more than once a year.
Yes, dude.
For sure,
dude.
But
that's with so many people, man. I text people on their birthday, and it's like, oh, the last text I sent was last year on this
birthday.
Day.
Yeah. It's bananas, dude. It's bananas. I think actually we did talk. We just didn't podcast for a year. So I think we talked a few months ago. I remember.
Actually, we did. We talked on the phone. Yeah.
But time is. I have no fucking idea when it was, but it was before.
Time is a mystery.
It is, man. But listen, dude, I'm so psyched for everything you got coming up, and your recordings coming up. So let's check in. I want to hear how that goes.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Making special, making a record is huge. So, and if it's the material you were working on before the pandemic, I mean, I think I told you how great it was then, and it was fairly new.
Yeah. It's mostly, it is mostly that stuff that's come from. It's not about the pandemic, but it came from the writing I was doing during that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
To me, it's the. And I think this is, most artists would say this, but it's the best that I've got. This is the best material I've written so far, I think.
I can't wait to check it out, dude. So good to see you, John.
That, man. Yeah, good to see you,
right,
man.
brother.
I really appreciate it.
Catch up soon. All right.
Later.
Should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything come what might for the sake